Oh, hi guys. It's Wednesday the 19th, and this little project is done now. Something Mom and Dad have needed done for quite some time, actually, and it's complete. Uh, Good place for old block and brick. uh, I just gotta let this cure out, and then we can backfill it. So, uh, we'll be back here in a few minutes, so hang on. Well, yeah. uh, I've got to figure out what to do with a lot of this. Uh, there's a lot of this that's just flat scrap, but there are some good pieces, like this. There's another piece of it over there. That Reese trailer hitch, which I can use to make something else with. Another hitch. There's some larger pieces of steel. That is all the brackets for a Chevrolet pickup to go around the fuel tank as a guard for a 1-ton truck. Odds and ends parts, a spring, clutch. I think there's a flywheel in there somewhere. AC plow, crazy trailing wheel that was broke. Nice size chunks of steel, various things. And where that was, I have no clue. That's a marker, foldable marker for a John Deere 494 planter. I don't remember where last time I seen that. And just various bits and pieces, part of an old gleaner grain head that gave up the ghost. But at least it's where now I can get to it. It's kind of sort through one I want to keep, and then the rest can go, because I don't need it. I did save one thing out of it. I bought it at a sale a long time ago. That's this. That is the top for a elevator. So where you can set it down on top of a crib or whatever, so the ears don't go flying everywhere. It goes where you want them. And I'm going to take that over to Jacob, because he's going to need that rascal. Oh, see what I get into. I might be pulling a wagon back, I don't know. So we'll find out here in a bit, guys. So we'll see you here in a bit. Hi guys, it's I believe the 20th, Thursday, October the 20th, I believe. And I went and got that wagon and fetched it home. And I had a tire to change on it. 1000s are fun to wrestle. And brought this wagon up and changed the tires on it. These are the 8 1/4 20s. I had mounted up 3 of them. This is off the other wagon. Had an 8 1/4 matched with 3 1000s. A little bit difference in height there. And I took the 16.5s off of this wagon. This tire might go on another wagon to get me by. Yeah. It's a J&M 250 bed, 250-7, whatever. Pretty sure it's either an 8 or a 10-ton gear by the size of the spindles and the way it's built. Got to do a little runner repair on it. Believe it or not, that measures 2 5/8 by 6. They're oak of some kind, but they're shot. And whoever had this wagon never checked the bolt. So these are all flip-floppity or missing bolts. And it's sitting cockeyed. You're past the standard here. And the front, well, it's the other way. It needs to come 2 inches this way. So, by my calculations, and the bolt holes that are here, there's another set of holes right there. I think you can see it there. And move that over and put 3 good pressure treated 2x6s together, sandwiched, to replace these on each side. I wish there was a sawmill around here, or that I had lumber trees that I could get cut to make these out of real quick, but I don't. And I don't know of anybody that does. So, I think that's what we're going to do. This side, the way they had this mounted, instead of the runner being under that support, had it mounted over here. Same way within the back, and that just crushed it down. But I can solve this problem. I have some heavy galvanized 3x6, 2x6, 2x5, something like that, that I can put a plate across that. Solve that issue. Same way with the back, same way with underneath. I had to do a little welding, as we got a chunk missing there, and we're broke. So I can do this. That's going to be a piece of cake to fix that. Needs a little lip service there. That won't take much. And right up there needs to be pulled down. There are no bolts in this. The extensions are just sitting there. So that's got to be looked into. And I'm going to put a piece of steel underneath this. Grind that out. Put a piece in there. I don't care if it's bolted for right now. We'll solve that problem. And it's a good bet again. Some might ask, why the 20-inch? Well, with these tires, they're plenty wide enough to hold it up, to hold a 250 bed like this. And I don't have to worry about them. You know, that's the whole point. These are pretty indestructible tires. They're 14 ply. So they'll take whatever you put on this wagon without a problem. Roll down the road easier, so well, hi guys. It is Monday the 24th of September. I just got done with this. Has New runners, all new bolts in it. This corner and the back corner on the other side are tied down. The other two are loose. Like I say, everything's new in it. This side I had to make 4 brackets and bolt them to this because this runner had gotten loose and bent the crap out of it. Not so much the back, it did bend it back there, but it was here, it broke it here, and you can see how jacked up that front is. So, I had these heavy pieces of galvanized angle that were already cut to the right sizes, so I used them. Put all new 3/4 or 1/2 inch bolts and everything. It's about I'm going to say $125 worth of lumber and bolts. Yeah, they're mighty proud of them bolts and that lumber anymore. And they really, really don't like you picking through to try to get the best wood. They just want you to grab the junk on top and go with it. I don't do that. Few little holes that's in that bottom, I'm just going to duct tape them. It's ready to go. So, after several days of working on this, I can call it successfully fixed. From tires, runners, bolts, everything fixed to my satisfaction. Notice I said my satisfaction. I'm not anally retentive like a lot of guys and have to have everything perfect. I'm a small farmer. It don't have to be perfect. It just needs to work. This will work now. I'm going to pair it with the other wagon with 20-inch rubber because they both dump on the same side. And I think the other 2 wagons dump on the same side. So that'll be a plus. So I will be back here in a minute. I'm going to go drop this off, go get the other one. It needs a tire. So we'll be back here in a minute, guys. Well, hi guys. It's about an hour later. I just got done with this one. Changed this front tire. It had a blowout, and this is one of my spares. This was off the 4400 when I bought it, and I wasn't going to drive home on it looking this way. But it's only a 6-ply tire, 11L16 6-ply. Pretty much useless for a wagon. So I put one of them 16.5s that came off that one big wagon on the front of it. It'll work just fine. Just went around it tightening bolts. It always amazes me how bolts get loose. But that's part of checking it over, getting it ready to go. Greased everything. Wheel bearings sound good, so it's good to go. Normally I'd prep it, get it all ready to go. It's got a couple little pinholes in it that I want to duct tape, but there's no sense doing that because we're talking rain tomorrow night. Several days, several days of rain chances. Well, hi guys. Part of owning any house is there's always going to be projects to be done on it. Mom and Dad's house, no exception. And it had some issues that have been needed taken care of for many years. This side of the house, for whatever reason, the foundation is settling different. And there was a crack in through here, going up. There was one just above the window, over, in between the windows, and then there was a crack that went right up through there, and a big one, as you can see, up from the corner that way, and it's actually brought the wall out just a little bit. So yesterday this all got point and tucked, and while the guy was here, and of course my parents both had a fit about it, but he fixed the chimney. There was work that needed done on it, and my dad was, I didn't want anybody on the roof, it's old roof, it's going to fall apart, it'll leak, blah 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 blah. And I said, Dad, that roof's not that old. Oh yeah, that roof's 35 years old. It's like, no, the roof's about 10 years old. But be that as it may, chimney's fixed now. I got a guy in to fix the steps. And I had to get a new elbow. That white elbow, I had to replace that yesterday. That's fun to find because it's schedule 35 pipe, which is really hard to find. That's what they used to use years ago for drainage and that kind of stuff. So it's kind of in the it's been dealing with these guys, getting this done, getting what they needed, blah blah blah, and them doing the work, working with them, and of course getting tile put down there, back there, getting basically from me to that tree, no, me to those tires, cleaned up from the edge of the field that way to them, and getting this whole area back here cleaned up, all this ground disked up, worked up, that all that wood taken from back there and put over there, burning brush, getting the big dead tree right across the road dug out and down before somebody got killed by a limb falling out. Hauling lots of dirt up here from down there, because this whole area right here was low because of the sump pump. Well, now we don't have to worry about that. Brought that dirt up to fill this area that was low in. Oh yeah, that's a rock from down there by the side waterway. Need to put that over the end of the tile so we can mark it. That's going to be our permanent marker, you might say. But you know, there's been an awful lot of work done in the last few weeks. From the road ditch, cleaning up what I could with the skid steer, to Craig finishing, tearing all that out. You know, it all takes time. Sorry about that, battery died. But this all takes time. And when you're doing most of this by yourself, it takes a lot longer. Yeah, I spent an afternoon hauling logs, hauling wood from all the way in the back up here where I could get to it when it rains. A lot of equipment back here got moved. Everything got moved, basically. And now, instead of, well, basically, where I stand in a straight line to them tires back there, I've gained all this. Cleaned this all up so I can farm it next year. Don't look like much, but brother, I'm telling you, there's a lot there to move and a lot to do. A lot to sort through. And that's exactly what I had to do. Sort through stuff, figure it out, where to put it, and then get it there. But it's moved now. Get that brush pile moved, and you know, I've literally gained where I'm standing probably a half an acre here. I wanted to do that for several years, but the last several years I've been dealing with kidney stones and other health concerns. So I haven't been able to do what I wanted to do. But we're getting a good handle on it now, I can tell you that for a fact. And it's in the, this is really good progress right here. And I'm glad it's done. The tile through here hopefully will solve this area's wet spot. And as you can see from right here to over there, there's a hump now. I need to get rid of that hump. But I can't do it now. There's just too much grass and other crap to even think about trying to run a irrigator through here. You know, for this ground to look this good, bare, after disking in everything, it was, you know, 3-4 foot tall and thick, it looks pretty damn good to me. Not perfect, but we haven't had rain here. We just broke a record. Day is 29 days without any measurable precip. I mean, we've had less, it's 1/100th of an inch is all we've gotten in the last month. So this ground is dry, really dry. So I'm limited now on what I can do with it. So, tonight into tomorrow, they're saying about a 1/2 inch, which this ground will suck it up. Trust me, it will just flat suck it up. And I may be able to get on this with a disc one final time, or a field finisher, soil finisher, or something. Maybe cut a few ditches here or there. I don't know yet. But this is what I needed to get it to for next spring. Now, I know a lot of you guys saying, well, you got to have the living root, you got to do this and that, got to cover crops. This particular soil that's here, if you let the ground get covered like that, with that kind of stuff, it won't dry. Now, when dug this trench, You see how the ground come up. It's like gravel. That's what this ground does. You don't get it to break up real nice and fine like the soil across the road. It just doesn't do it. From about right over here to that big tree, this upper corner is more like the ground across the road, and it breaks up beautiful. And you can kind of see a difference from here to here. It's changing soils. Nothing I can do about it. But like I said, for the last month there has been an awful lot done. You know, from getting this disked up, and I think I've been over this 4 times now, some of it 5, to get it to the point it's at. Getting all the dead trees cleaned up back there, getting the disc up, all that equipment moved, all that whole area picked through and cleaned up, getting the road ditch done, getting these tile runs put in, getting rid of the dirt from the sod waterway where we straightened it up. I still got 3 dump truckloads of dirt back there in that far corner that I got to go do something with. And in the mix of doing all that, I've been working on wagons and tractors and wagons and combine and every other day-to-day thing. So like I said, I have been busy. I'm sorry I haven't been able to keep up with videos. It's just been a struggle trying to get everything done. When you get an opportunity to go a straight month without rain, it causes you to get busy, real busy. And that's what I've done. And I've stayed busy. A lot of tree be gone, a lot of brush cleanup, a lot of burning. That pile back there, believe it or not, is still burning. It's been burning for 3 weeks. Pile over there, I burned it last night, and it's still got hot spots and still burning. But this is where I wanted the ground to be. Get it like this fall. Come spring, if it's a somewhat normal spring, I can get in here, hit this with a disc, open it up, air it, warm it, and who knows, I may get to plant corn in it. Don't know for sure, but that's what I'd like to do. It's just, it depends on the spring, literally. If I plant corn over here, depending on what happens in the next few weeks, I may plant some wheat across the road. I don't know. If I do, I'd like to do it from the point back, and that's roughly about 15 acres. So that would be fabulous. And have corn over here and a field of beans by the barn. And next summer, I may just plant a cover crop in on the wheat stubble of ryegrass or tillage radishes and I don't know, sunflowers, whatever, and just let it go for the year. You don't know till we get there. In this part of the country, you can try to plan to do things, but you're better off just to play it by ear. So guys, I'm going to call it here. We'll see you next time. And as always, please comment, rate, and subscribe. Maybe the 24th of October, but I've got a lot done this month. An awful lot done this month and the end of last month. So we'll see you next time. Well, hi guys. It is October the 30th, Sunday. It's about 2:30 in the afternoonish. They've been predicting a bunch of rain for today, tonight, tomorrow. It's supposed to start raining first thing this morning. It's just barely sprinkling right now. But I haven't really filmed anything the last few days. Kind of my mind has been elsewhere. Our neighbor just down the road passed away. Neighbor lady. And it's kind of ringing home to me. She's only, I think, 53, and she had had a hip replaced early this spring, and she had a back operation about 6 weeks ago. And unfortunately, she got an infection in her back. It spread to her heart, and that's what ultimately killed her. She had 4 or 5 strokes in a matter of 3 days. So it's kind of ringing home to me, you might say. But you can kind of understand why I haven't filmed anything. I did a lot of work. I just didn't feel like videoing. Not there. But I will show you what I've been doing. What I've managed to do the last few days. Okay. The burn pile that was out there. I got it burned up. Whatever trash was left is right there on the end of that pile. I spread the dirt out in the field. I brought the tractor and disc over and disced this end off. The pile over there is, it ain't even a fourth of what it was. I did the same thing. I took the dirt, moved, the brush around, and took the dirt and put it in up where the disc, down to those sprayers. You can see it. I kind of scattered it in that area, disked that whole area up. I redisked everywhere we had driven out here in the field where it was compacted. Okay, well, back here behind the house here in just a moment, where we had these steps done, I have backfilled it. Now this is backfilled with really loose dirt. 2 buckets over here and out and around this area. And to be honest, I've lost count of how many was in here. Probably 6, 7 buckets to get this filled in and this area. Now, mind you, I have not driven on any of it. I don't want to do that yet. I just want to fill it loose and let it settle as time goes. Field wise over here, I've got it pretty well finished up. This ground, I cannot believe, nope, with only got about 3/8 of an inch of rain the other day, and I cannot believe how good this broke up. I mean, this right here is super unusual for this ground. But basically, where I'm standing here at this point, from here to the brush pile to the stack of tires back there, was as far as I was farming to. And I've added all this to it now. It's all cleaned up. I've walked it. It's disked up really good. It's broke up really good. And this wall get planted next year. The tile is in. It's doing its thing. I'm really, really super happy and pleased at how good this worked up. Like I say, this is unusual to have it break up this good. And as I said, that burn pile is nothing compared to what it was. But I've gained ½ acre here, and I shall put it to good use next year. I've moved everything over there for a reason, and I hope, my plan is, when I get some time, to take that international planter over, and it's going to get cut up. Have no need for it, no use for it, so it can go bye-bye. Be used for other things. And I've been working on this for a couple of weeks, getting it to this point. Let it, disc it up, let it lay, come back, disc it again, get this stuff, the weeds dried up where they'll chop up and bury. I would love to irrigate it, but I can't do that. There's just too much trash in it. So it is what it is. But like I say, I've got a lot done in the last couple of days. Getting all that cleaned up down there, getting this back filled, getting this disc back up, the dirt, a lot of the dirt hauled out from this over. You can kind of see it over there, a little darker looking. Yeah, been a lot going on. We'll be right back, I guess. Hang on.